Hey, this is Carrie from Wrap Your Head Around Silks. This is the Expecting Aerialist podcast with the Digent Podcast Network. How's it going, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. I thank you, the worldwide aerialist family, for listening and keeping this podcast alive. This is the summer of 2026. We are in our 6th season and have a lot of great stuff coming up. Number one, coming into Houston in July. We're doing the Texas Aerial Gathering here in San Antonio in August. I'm hitting Dallas Circus Center December 5th and 6th, and then NECA, the New England Center for Circus Arts, in January again. If you are wanting to do an online course with me, I have aerial rehab, a comprehensive beginner to intermediate course, and a free mini course in case you want to just check out my style. Go to my website for that. Go to the show notes for all those links. And I'm so excited to be here, you guys. Let's get started. You are calling me from New Zealand, is that right?
Townsville, Australia.
Australia, but you guys are so close in my mind.
Pretty close. Over the ditch.
And you've got a sleeping baby on your a little breastfeeding pillow there, I think I see.
Yes, he's just fallen asleep after a feed, and there's my daughter's behind me over here eating. So everyone's nice and quiet for the moment.
You've got your hands full, and I'm not going to take too much of your time today because like the confluence of the piece cannot last forever, I'm assuming. So we're going to do this. Ollie, if you would introduce yourself to the audience, a little bit about your family, where you are with your kids and what ages they are, where you are in your aerial practice, a little bit about what you do.
So I'm 36, mother of 3, although my first is a lot older. So I've had these 2 babies during my aerial journey over the last, let's say, consistently 6 years. I live a little bit out of town, so about 40 minutes out of the main city here where we live. So I've got my own rig, I've got my own home gym, and that's pretty much how I've managed to keep everything going with the family life.
I love this. So you've been doing aerial for about 6 years.
I started back in 2013, but it was very inconsistent. It would be like one class or a term every year or 2. Like it wasn't anything to boast about. It was just sort of something I dabbled in, didn't do much. It wasn't until about COVID where we moved down near Brisbane, which is one of the major cities here in Australia. And I got a coach, and that's when I started doing competitions from there.
Oh, wow. Who was your coach?
Back then it was Tammy Dawson at Aerialicious in Brisbane.
Okay.
I also frequented the Infinity Aerial Pole and Dance Studio, I think it's called, in Ipswich.
Okay.
So because I lived up in Toowoomba, so it was about an hour 45 drive into Brisbane. And it was about an hour 10 driving to Ipswich. So they were pretty long round trips.
Oh, yeah, that's
they were
long.
worth it. And then I could just come back and practice it at home.
Wow. So you're driving. This is when you only had your first kid, right? Back then.
Both just before her and just after her.
Okay. Oh my goodness. And then the one on your bosom there, how old? How long are you postpartum? Postpartum, 3 months. Are you in a fog right now?
13 weeks. So it's actually not too bad. I've had my hubby off. We have really good paternity leave here in Australia. So he had 2 months and then he took an extra month off work. So he's only just gone back to work last week. So he's been really good with helping out. So that's made things a lot smoother.
Okay.
This time around.
Yeah. I mean, look at a country with social services. What is that? No idea here in America.
I hear that. It's not for everyone. So I work in a government job, so does he. So we've got the benefits that come with that. So I get about 6 months half pay maternity leave, and then I can take another 6 months where the government pays sort of like a maternity leave for you as well. So we can take a year off, which is really fantastic.
Oh my God, people dream of this. Okay, so let's talk about this pregnancy you had. How was it? Especially compared to the other ones, because this is your third.
So the first I had super young. I was a teenager. So that was just, it was mentally a lot, but physically it was really like you just bounce back so quickly with being so young. But I had Lyra, my daughter, at 32. So I practiced aerial still consistently up till about 35 weeks pregnant.
Okay.
But by that point, I was sort of getting a bit like I couldn't twist. Everything was getting a bit tight and heavy.
35 weeks is pretty damn good. Really?
I didn't show much with her. I hadn't had a child in so long, like 15 years.
Yeah.
So everything was tight. All the muscles were tight. Like I didn't have much of a tummy for ages, which made it easier to get around the silks still. But yeah, kept up with the gym. But that made it good. It was easier to get back into it straight after. I didn't really have any complications with her. It was pretty straightforward. I went and entered a competition at about 4 months postpartum, which was probably not the best decision, but it encouraged me to sort of, get up there and practice constantly to get all the strength back, especially the inverts and just the climbing, like with that lower ab muscles.
Yeah. Were you able to? How did that competition go?
Oh, look, I didn't win, but I got up there and I did it.
Yeah.
And I was pretty happy with myself for
doing it.
For doing it, for getting there. I didn't expect much. This time around, I was a bit more, I knew what to expect. So again, and thank God, like they initially thought he was an ectopic pregnancy. By grace of God, we are fine. It turned out that it was too early. Whatever they saw wasn't him, and he's fine. So, and I also had a 9-centimeter cyst on my ovary at the same time. So that sort of threw my training into a bit of a tailspin at the beginning of the pregnancy. Once all that settled down, so the cyst shrank, he was fine and where he was supposed to be. I kept up the silks. So what I did this time around is I made myself a routine. So I would try to do that 3 to 4 minute routine twice every time I trained silks to keep my strength up. And I kept that going to about 20 weeks until the bump was starting to get a bit much. So I had to adjust. And then I just made myself another routine, which was a bit more basic, less wrapping around the tummy, all that sort of stuff. And that kept everything pretty strong, I thought. I kept going with that till I think I only went to about 34 and a half weeks this time, just because I was getting really heavy. And then I had him at 38 weeks. Everything went fine. I went back to silks at about 6 weeks after seeing a physio.
Okay.
So I got the clearance from her first to just start very basic stuff because everything was still obviously coming back together. I still had a little bit of separation to work on. And so I worked with her for like the following 6 weeks up to about 12 weeks postpartum. And we took that separation, I think I'm bouncing back and forth with my story here.
It's okay.
I got checked out just after birth with a physio that comes around the hospital, and she said she could feel about a 2-centimeter spacing between the ab muscles. And she's like, that's fantastic. Most people have 4 at this point. So by the time I went and saw the physio at 6 weeks, it obviously brought itself back in quite a bit, but there was still a little bit, like if she poked hard enough, she could still sort of feel the inside. Like there's still some tightening up to do here. So pretty much 5 to 6 days a week, I was doing like ab work. She gave me a whole heap of exercises just to do every day. And it was really amazing in real time, sort of watching like the abdominals come in every day. I could like feel it.
Wow.
And then every so many days I'd be like, oh, that's tighter on my finger. Oh, that's tighter on my finger. Like this is working.
Oh,
awesome.
That's awesome. And you just did that on a mat at home?
Yep. So I got my little, like I said, I got a little home gym just out the back door there, and then I've got my rig, and then my daughter's also got a little mini rig. So I've got the whole setup out here, so I don't have to drive into town, which is fantastic. I also used the little gym, like she gave me the clearance to do, start a little bit of gym work, start building that muscle back up. It it wasn't much of a drop in weights, thank goodness, because I trained gym right up to I think the day before I gave birth or 2 days before I gave birth. It was just the aerials. I sort of stopped at 35 weeks or 34 weeks.
You want to say hi to Ollie?
Papa's treating me so bad outside.
Why you say that?
He's like touching my makeup.
He's messing with you?
He's trying to get me up, and I'm literally trying to play on your iPad.
Oh, you want to come play on my iPad in this chair? You can do that, and then just turn down all your volume, okay? Oh, my goodness. Ollie, look at this sad face.
Oh, no, I got one too.
There's a kid in this one. You want to see? The kid's right behind her. You want to see?
She's eating a yogurt.
She's eating a yogurt.
I asked her to behave herself and she could have 2 marshmallows.
Oh, 2 marshmallows. That's a treat. Okay, well, are you going to just whimper into the microphone? I don't know I think that's really disruptive for the listeners to hear whimpering the whole time. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ollie, we're not going to take very long on this one because there's listeners, you should see us. She's got a kid on her. I've got a kid on her myself. There's a kid in the back. It's actually it's relatively peaceful. Ollie, it sounds like your body really knows how to have a baby. That's what it sounds like.
I wanted to do a little reel. You know how people are like, oh, you bounce back, you always bounce back. And I'm sure there's there is some genetic factor in there, but there's also a lot of work to put into it. Mm-hmm. Your body makes an entire human. It has to expand, it has to grow, everything gets moved around. Being my 3rd child, I finally got checked out in the pelvic clinic and I found out I'm asymptomatic, but there is there's some prolapses in there that I've got to strengthen up and work on. And TMI, but for anyone listening to this, I'm sure they are considering babies or pregnant and this is just the stuff that sort of comes with it after a couple of children usually.
Things start falling out the hole. Is that what's happening?
Oh, no, it's not that bad. It's very mild in comparison, but it's something to you've got to keep working.
Yes.
Get your body back up there, your body does an amazing thing and there's a lot of back work. People just see wow, you've got your muscles back or you're back up in the air or you're back in the gym. That's fantastic. Your tummy's flat. And it's yes, but you didn't see all the stuff in the background that, I had to fix this. I've got to work on this. I've got to improve this. Being a mum, I'm getting rid of shoulder bursitis at the moment, which thankfully doesn't affect my gym or my silks. But when you're breastfeeding and you're always forward, there's a lot of things that, you got to be mindful of. It's not just pop out a baby. I'm good. Everything's back to normal. There's work. There's work in the background.
Yeah. Ollie, how do you motivate to work out at home? I have a really hard time with that, which is why I never work out at home. I always make myself, I'm teaching. So I go and make myself teach and train while I'm teaching. I have the hardest time motivating to do anything at home. Is it hard for you to motivate? No,
it's just thankfully I've got a good husband who, when he gets home from work, I sort of just hand off the baby and I take my 3-year-old and she comes out and exercises with me or she hops on her rig and so we sort of do it together out there. Even if he isn't at home, I'm sort of shopping in the market for a bouncer at the moment because back when I had her, I'd bring her out there and stick her in a bouncer or something like that. So she was somewhat amused so I could go up on the rig and do what I wanted to do or do some gym. It's just you just need your own time, your own thing in a day. Mm-hmm. You're constantly giving everyone else everything. You got to make sure that you keep them fed, they're happy, they're gone to the toilet. You got to take them to their staff, and which is all fine. It's good, but at some point you just need a little bit of something for yourself. And for me, that's my gym. I go out there, work on my body. I feel better afterwards. I don't have to go far because it's just out my back door. I think the best thing someone could invest in if they were going to be a stay-at-home mum or something is a little home gym, just so you don't have to try and make that effort to get to the gym, to find someone to watch the kids, all that sort of stuff. Right. It's understandably not everyone has the money. I've been building mine since COVID, so it's just been little bit by little bit. I buy some dumbbells here, a squat rack there, and I've just sort of built it over the years to the point where it is now. But I definitely rate it because it's so hard to get to the gym when you're a mum, and you've just got to go during cray showers, and you don't want your kids to get any germs, and it's just it's a whole ordeal.
Yeah, I feel like back when my kid was really young and she was like 2 and 3 years old, my friends have aerial rigs and I just drive to their house and it wasn't far and I would work out a little bit. And she would be in a little set up baby jail, which is, it's just a playpen, but I call it a baby jail. I'm talking about you, Bean. Is it okay? She said, don't embarrass me. She would just...
You call her Bean?
Yeah.
That's her nickname.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
She would be in the little playpen, and I just put the playpen off to the side of the point, and she would scream at the top of her lungs. Baby! She would scream and scream and scream until I came down. So you could just tell how productive I was.
Yeah, I bought her like a little tent, little pop-up tent for the backyard, so she was out of the sun, and I would do something similar. Thankfully, she usually would be pretty all right. Like I could go up and do what I wanted to do, come back down, and then maybe hold her or talk to her, and then just sort of make it work that way. And I don't know about you, I get a bit overstimulated. Like I can be one of those mums, and I just try not to go into them like that training with mentality of I have to get this done. I have to get this done. Otherwise, I'll just, like get really stressed out. Whereas if I just do slowly, take my time, sort of pick up the kids when I need to, then we're sweet. We can get it done eventually, usually, God willing.
So, Ollie, besides women out there having their own home gym, what would be your advice to new moms having all this experience?
The aerialist mum?
Yeah.
I would just, especially in that first 12 weeks, I would get yourself some bands just to avoid getting a sore back and everything, because just strengthening up that rotator cuff so you don't end up with a bursitis in your shoulder or a knotted back or anything, because you're just leaning forward so much, carrying baby, breastfeeding, all that sort of stuff. I would get some bands and I would just get a nice soft yoga mat just for starting to strengthen up that core again after birth. It's those are the two main things I sort of struggle with, is the posture and the bringing everything in after a first and a second baby, maybe not so much, or once you've sort of had 3 or more babies, that's when you've got to really pay attention to your abdominals and just make sure that you're doing everything you can to bring them in, because the physio told me you've got about 12 weeks before they sort of set where they're going to stay. So you want to bring them in as much as you can in that second 6 weeks period.
Bean, what were you saying?
Papa said we're not made out of meat.
Okay, listen. You can't disrupt me right now. Just wait, or you can sit right there. Ollie, you have a rotator cuff bursitis because of breastfeeding?
It's the shoulder bursitis, the little fat pad in there or whatever they call it. But it's a rotator cuff, my rotator cuff's too weak, which you'd think in the back it would get used a bit with silks, but it just gets a bit too neglected apparently. And because of what I do for work, I was already sort of predisposed to sitting forward, on a desk. And so once you sort of have a baby and you're breastfeeding and you're always leaning forward and you're always carrying that baby in the front, your shoulders sort of come forward like this a lot. And so here tightens, here gets pulled, things get out of line and they start pinching. And I notice it mostly when I'm doing any sort of chest exercise or when I wake up in the morning if I've slept on that side. Like I said, it doesn't really affect my silks much at all, not at all. It doesn't really affect much of my gym. I'm weary of it when I'm training chest, but it's just something to be mindful of because they call it mum's shoulder, I believe. And it's just something super common when you've got a new baby because your posture just sort of goes to rubbish. You're not thinking about it. You're sort of just thinking about, I need to hold baby, I need to feed baby. And it's not one of those things you're thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, even without baby, it's like the computers, the phone, the driving, everything, like the shoulders are just coming forward. And like, unless I am really actively training my rhomboids and my shoulder blades and everything on a regular basis, it goes to shit anyway. And that's not even being in the breastfeeding time of my life. When I was in the breastfeeding time, even more so. Like I would have so much neck pain. My back would be super weak from just like tension, right?
Yeah, it just brings it out. Like if there's anything there, you're going to find out about it when you when you have a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, like it didn't really, I was mildly aware of it before. It wasn't affecting anything. But once I had my daughter, and then it's just been a constant battle trying to get it to 100% go. Since then, I spoke to one of the sports surgeon people recently, I think it was last week, and he's like, because I'm hypermobile as well, he's like, could just be an issue of we stick a steroid in it, it goes down, like your hypermobility might be contributing to it pinching a little bit too. And I know people who are hypermobile, people with hypermobility seem to be drawn to silks a lot, so that could also be a factor if someone's had a kid and they're going through this. Something to mention to your physio. It's just all these things you got to sort of keep in your mind when you're trying to look after your body after doing something so big, especially with your sports. It's so upper body orientated.
Yeah. What are you on? Are you on silks? On your Lyra? What are you on?
I mostly just do silks. I do have a trapeze. My daughter likes to hop on the trapeze with me. It's just teaching myself. It's nothing to brag about. I've got a lot of apparatuses, but silks is that's my love.
Are you feeling, do you ever feel lonely in your practice by yourself, or do you go train with other people enough that you don't feel that way?
I go every Saturday. There is a local aerial art school called Elation Aerials in town.
Okay.
And so they do an open training.
Okay.
So every Saturday morning, usually, I will get my husband to watch these two. And that's just like, I can go in and it's like an hour and a half. I can just train in a PCYC gym, whatever I want to do.
What is that?
And
What do you call it? What kind of gym?
A PCYC.
What's that?
Oh, it's a police citizens youth club.
Oh, okay.
And it's like a big community shed, I guess. We do it on a basketball court. They've got all the rigging up in there. So that's my one time a week where I'm by myself. I don't have to chase anyone. There's no wind, all that sort of stuff. Everything else I just do here, but I sort of just work around the children, which is fine. Like my oldest is old enough to sort of be reasoned with.
Reasoning with children. Do you see this child? So in this closet, I sit on a physio ball, and usually if you have two people on a physio ball, it doesn't go well. Usually I'm using a lot of core so that neither of us are going down, but she's just bouncing. She's got me covered in a blanket right now. Oh my goodness, Ollie.
It's cold here, so it must be hot over there for you guys right now.
It's the end of your summer?
We're just going into winter.
You're going into winter right now. Okay. I forget about that.
By the temperature, I think so. We don't have much of a winter here.
Yeah,
it's
you guys have
tropical.
Beautiful weather.
It is quite nice.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with your audience about your experience?
Honestly, keeping in mind not everyone is able to keep training all through their pregnancy, but if you can, 100% do it. Like if you can do it safely, because it helps your body come back so much quicker afterwards. And I trained spinning drops, like safe drops, nothing huge, but all that with both my children. And my oldest daughter is just a spinning fanatic now. I think it just embedded something in her head because she's wild with it. It's an amazing thing. Like, I rate it. Don't be scared of it. I know a lot of girls, like the younger girls where I go to aerials, they they don't want to give up doing silks. They're worried, they'll have to start again and all that. But if you've been doing it for long enough, if you're safe to do it, like 100%, just just keep up that strength as much as you can safely and all the way through, and you'll come back very quickly.
Well, and also I like to tell people, like, yeah, you might have to start over, but we've all done it once or twice, and
you come back better.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
It's fine. It's like, yeah, it sucks in the meantime because you are thinking, oh, I used to be able to do this easily. But even like, there's no reason for me to like leave it and come back. I'm just like having a not so strong month because of some dietary things and this and that. And it feels like that already. So it could feel like that even if you're not taking a break, you know? So just come back to it if that's what you want. In my perspective, I feel like that's the best way to do it. Just come back.
Well, you never know what's going to, like, C-sections happen, things pop up, you know, you might just feel too gross to do anything. Like that's also a thing. Like it's not, it comes back quickly. Like it's, even if you haven't done it, like if you go away on a holiday for a couple of months, come back, it's pretty much, it's similar. You're starting again, you're building its strength back up. It comes back pretty quickly.
Yeah. Ollie, thank you for carving out the time. I know that's not easy. And thanks for doing math on our time zones, because that's my weakness in life, is matching time zones. It makes it hard to do a podcast sometimes, but I thank you for that.
No, that's all good. I Googled it. I cheated. It's all good.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for the opportunity. Hopefully it helps someone out there who's nervous or
Yeah, I love it.
starting their journey.
I love it. It doesn't have to be that hard, you know? It can be like...
It doesn't have to be that scary either.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friends, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to my guests for carving out the time to be with me. If you would give me a review and smash that 5 stars, it really, really makes a huge difference in other people being able to find this podcast organically. So I thank you for that. Go to my show notes if you want to check the links out for anything, or if you'd like to sign up for any of my workshops coming up. I really appreciate you. If you'd like to be on this podcast, please DM me at CarrieWee1 on Instagram. I would love to highlight your story on this podcast. I want to get as many diverse stories as possible. All right, my friends, over and out. This is the Expecting Airless podcast, now with the Digitant Network.